All right, Founder Matthew Primous. And that's why I want to say that the Lord don't be discouraged, don't be torn down, don't be hurt over things that the enemy stole from you, over things that the enemy done to you, over things the enemy said to you. Because God is that great a God. He's not only a God that could work in the present, he could work in the past and the future. That's why it says God's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He's letting you know that God could give you blessings that were taken from you. He could give you blessings that some mean family member took from you, or some mean friend took from you. He could restore those blessings that were taken from you, that was taken from you a long time ago. He could restore those blessings. That's what makes him God. He could work. He could fix your past and give you something that you never had when you was a child, or something you never had when you was young, or when you wasn't ready for it. He could do it in the present. He could give you things that daily he could give you things and blessings each day. And in the future, he could give it to you. He could give it to you. He could prepare things in the future. That's what makes him God, that he could prepare it in the past, future, and present. God could do it any time. He could move and give you something that you never had before. Because that's what I was thinking, I was down, and I was like, oh Lord, I lost this and I lost this. I trusted you, God, and I trusted you to do what you said you do, but I'm going to leave it. That's what you have to do. Sometimes you have to leave it in God's hands. Say, God, I leave it in your hand. I leave it in your hand to deal with my issue. I leave it in your hand to bless me. I leave it in your hand to make that dream come true. Because some people just say, oh, it just happened. It just happened. But no, we know that God makes all things happen. And that's what you should say. If you know God bless you, you shouldn't say it just happened, and because you're not giving him glory. You should say, God gave this to me. God blessed me with this. And if you're afraid of what people say, God is not, you're going to lose your blessing. Tell you, God, that's what he said. That's what he talked about. Jesus talked about the talent. Remember how he talked about the one that buried it, that said, that the Lord was cruel and that he just takes things from people, or he forced people to do things that they don't want to do. And the Lord took what he did and gave it to the one that did the most. And that's what the Lord's going to do to you. If you're ashamed of him before the world, he's going to be ashamed of you before his Father and the holy angels. And you have to say, Lord, the Lord did it. You have to give him credit. Not only pray to him and thank him in prayer and praise him for his goodness and mercy. He said, but you also have to tell the world God did it. And that's because if you don't, you're going to lose your testimony. And that's the only way you can fight the devil is through having your testimony. And the only way you can fight the devil and you only can stop from going backwards and being back a sinner again is you have to testify of the goodness of the Lord. You have to testify where he brought you from. And that's why I wanted to let you know that God can take those blessings, those things you thought that were impossible, those dreams that died, those things that hurt you. I said, those dreams that died, those visions that you had, those inspiration, ambitions, God can give you back those things. He did it for Abraham because that's what Abraham was doing. Abraham was saying, I have everything, but I don't have a child. I have riches, but I don't have a child. I have a wife, but I don't have a child. I have servants, but I don't have a child. I have your promise, God, but I don't have a child. And I said, Abraham wanted a child for a long time, but God gave it to him just when he was ready, just when he believed. That's when God gave it to him. And he laughed right along with Sarah because he thought, I'm real old. I'm about 100 years old. How are you going to give me a child when I'm about 100? And that's what the Lord said, with God, dreams never die. With God, dreams never die. And when God bless you, don't just say, oh, God is only going to bless you once, twice, or 3 times, or 4 times. With God, that's what he means, everlasting life. And that's what the Lord told me. Everlasting life means there's more to come. That God is going to bless you more and more. He's going to bless you more and more. He blesses us daily. And if you walk in the Spirit, you will see the blessings of God. That God will bless you daily. That he'll bless you all day. in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. That's why it goes with that show. See the song, I Can Never Stop Praising the Lord. I can see why a true Christian can never stop praising the Lord, because God keeps on blessing. He don't just bless once. He don't just bless twice. He keeps giving. He keeps saying, oh, okay, I'll give you this. Oh, you praise me for that. That's my son. That's my daughter. I'm going to give you something else. Oh, that's my son. That's my daughter. I'm going to give you something else. Oh, that's my son. Now I'm going to take you through this, but I'm going to see if you stay faithful. Oh, you stood faithful. That's my son and daughter. That's what he did with Job. He gave Job twice the amount he had. Twice the amount of money that he had before. And the same God that did for Job would do for you. He's a past, present, and future God. He can change the past, present, and future. And he can do the supernatural with the past, present, and future. And that's why Paul said Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Which is what he did yesterday, he could do today. What he do today, he could do forevermore. God doesn't change. And that's what it said, that dreams will never die with God.